What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Prospect Spotlight, where you get a chance to learn more about NFL draft hopefuls. I'm Steph Sanchez, and today I'm happy to be joined by former Texas Tech and UCF linebacker Jesiah Pierre. Jesiah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I can't complain. No complaints over here. Look, we'll get into the full line of questioning that we have for you here. But first, I want to warm us up a little bit. So I want to start with some rapid fire, and whatever comes to your head, you just answer with that. So I got 5 questions for you. I'm gonna start off with here. Who's the NFL MVP for you this season?
Ooh, the MVP. I'm gonna have to give it to Saquon Barkley. That hurdle he did backwards, like that backwards hurdle, that sold it for me.
That's an all-timer.
You've never seen that in any level of football, like ever. Like you don't, no, that's not common. So Saquon Barkley is most definitely the MVP for me this year.
I love that. That was a crazy move, and the pictures they got of that. This is a long timer. All right, so we got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. Who you got winning that?
Oh, Philly. I think Philly. I think they're coming back. I think they're coming for a comeback. Jalen Hurts, he has a lot on his shoulders, and he wants to prove to the world, not only to the world but to himself that he's a champion. He's a great leader. Saquon, Offensive Player of the Year. So I think it's going to be a really, really good show. But hey, Kansas City, they got a lot of talent. They're very, they're on a streak right now. So I think it's going to be an interesting game, very fun game to watch.
I think so as well. Now we got the halftime being Kendrick Lamar. So I'm going to ask you, Drake or Kendrick?
Oh, Kendrick. Come on now. Kendrick. Kendrick. I gotta go Kendrick.
So far, you're the first one to answer that. Everyone was like Drake, and I'm like, man.
What? Come on. Well, I mean, I'm more of old school.
Drake
I'm
fan.
Old school. Okay. I'm an old soul. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite cheat day meal?
Ooh, man. Cheat day meal. I'm probably have to go with some pizza. I love pizza. Like I love.
What toppings? What toppings you throwing on there?
I'm throwing in some Italian sausage, some pepperoni, and okay, don't hate me for this, but if it's a different type of pizza, not on the same pizza, I like pineapple on pizza. Like I know. Hear me out. I know a lot of people may think I'm nasty, but I don't care. I think pineapple on pizza is very good.
It belongs on. He wanted to make that known, by the way. Like he said, it was the third option, and you threw it in there. I like that though. You stick to your guns. All right, last question on the rapid fire. If you could get a sack on any current player, who would it be?
And in NFL right now, I say Pat Mahomes.
Yeah,
Pat Mahomes.
Former Texas Tech,
Texas Tech. That's Texas Tech connection right there. I'll say Pat Mahomes for sure.
All right. I love it. Well, okay, let's get into the questions about your career and all that. Speaking of Texas Tech, you started your college career at Florida in 2020. That was a tumultuous year for everyone. So after that, you transferred to Texas Tech. You played there 3 years. Before having your final season at UCF. So walk me through the decision-making process for you and why ultimately, like after those 3 years at Texas Tech, you ended up at UCF.
First off, I want to thank Texas Tech, for all they've done for me. That school, I'm an alumni there, and, that school has my heart forever until the day I die. And the people there, what Coach Joey McGuire has going on over there, it's something that's going to last for a lifetime. And he's a great coach, and him and I were like this. So I'm really thankful for Texas Tech. But, it came to a time, for me, I kind of felt like, it was just time for a growth, just to move forward, from Texas Tech. It just felt like it was a mutual thing, no bad blood from the university and me. And it was just, to look for a new opportunity, and I felt like it was a great opportunity to come back to home at UCF. I'm from Florida, Orlando, Florida. So that was a decision to come back and have family here, a lot of resources here. And so, just want to put on for the city, and to be back where I came from.
I love that. Now, I always think about this, like people throw shade at, the transfer portal and all that. But personally, I might be one of the few people who actually is very much in support of like the transfer portal and players just going where they feel is best for them, right? So I love that answer. Being back in Florida, that makes a lot of sense. Was there a year throughout your collegiate career where you felt like, the game started to slow down for you and it just all started to click?
I say yeah. Like honestly, like when I transferred to Tech, it was like a huge, not just football wise, but a character growth for me and who I was as a man and what I had to take serious. And I took all the lessons that I learned from UF and from coaches. You know, like Christian Robinson was my coach. He just helped me understand the game better and faster. And when I got to Tech, they just capitalized on it, and it just made me take a more mature approach to the game of football and what I had to do, what it takes to be a starter, to be a player on the field, not just for just for college, but just Division I level. If you want to get to pros, just how to be a pro. And I say 2021, that's when it really started to hit to me. And I started to capitalize more and more throughout my career, up till now.
And I'm sure one of those things that you probably leaned into more in that process of maturing your game was film study, right? So what are some things that you look for in opponents when you're watching film?
Everybody, what I realize about, certain teams is that it's a lot, the game is very repetitive. A lot of people try to seem like they're gurus and they know their game, what they do, but at the end of the day, it's football. A lot of teams do the same stuff. They just try to disguise it in different ways. It's the same thing for different schemes. A lot of schemes are relatively the same. They just have different terminologies. And that's the thing I kind of picked up the most about, playing a lot of football in college. It's just about you could see one play at week 1 that you messed up on, and you'll see it again week 10. A lot of teams are always like that. It's just copy and paste with this. And our coaches say it to us. Coaches in my career say to me all the time, it's just copy and paste. And that's really the biggest thing I've noticed, how teams are movements on certain plays, whether jet sweep, they're inside zone, outside zone, counter, just the alignment of the fullbacks or stance, everything you could just tell from how the offenses gives you. Every certain type of players give their keys and how they're going to block you. So I'm just if they're not blocking you, they look the other direction. If they're going to block you, they're going to look directly at you. It's very simple stuff like that certain offenses give that you could just see and you could pick it up quicker as a linebacker that can make you play faster and help the defense to be the best you can be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every team, even on the defensive side, every team has trends, tells, as you were saying. So how about when you watch your own film? What are you watching to critique yourself on?
Yeah. No, I'm a very critical player of myself. I really, even I watch good and bad plays, because I look at a bad play and a good play. Okay, how do we get back to neutral? But I look at if a good play, I'm like, man, how can I sing that quicker and make it better to make it more let's say it was a 2-yard loss. How can I make it a 3-yard loss when that play comes to me again? And for a bad play, it comes to me, okay, how can I learn from this and see this quicker? That's really the type of player I am, just watching the same stuff again of how I can be better, to be a better football player, to help my team win the most games that we can and win championships. So me, I'm a very critical player. I'll be in the film room for hours just watching about stuff and just, how to get better, what I got to work on, but always just trying to get back to neutral and just keep moving forward.
I love that. Now, before I get to the next question, this one's a relevant answer by someone in the chat. Curious to know how Jesiah sees the NFL game, NFL offenses, etc., versus college game offenses. Are you seeing some similarities that you pick up as far as trends go, or just is it a completely different game, or what's your read on that?
What I've been seeing this year, a lot of teams have been trying to copy more of what I call more college offense coordinators going to the NFL, and it's both going to be, they're both having the same style. So you could have different things where certain quarterbacks still do cadences, and the NFL is completely totally different. It all depends on the coach, but yes, there is some differences here and there. But it's also at the end of the day how much you know football and how much quickly you can learn the game, because everybody knows the game of football, anything can happen. So it's about how you could learn and adjust and just keep playing the next down.
Now, I know you have a lot of experience playing, a lot of different spots, defensive end, outside and inside linebacker spots. So tell me how the opportunity came about to play defensive end a little bit more, and how playing the different positions has kind of helped you play all those positions. How has playing inside linebacker helped you play defensive end and vice versa?
Man. It's really interesting how I came to play defensive end. It was really weird. It's when Coach McGuire got hired. So one of my favorite, when he hired a defense coordinator, Tim DeRuiter, one of my favorite coaches, man, him and I have a great relationship. And we didn't have much outside linebackers, and they saw I was a tall, I had long arms, I was an athletic guy. They said, "Hey, can you play outside linebacker?" And I said, "Okay, that's cool." Like, even though I was recruited always for inside linebacker, they said try it out. And once I did it, started put good stuff on film, making good plays, and it's really helped me. How the position helped me, it really helped me like show my case and my abilities on film for teams, and it helped me understand the game more about how like certain like how gaps can just you take certain gaps, certain angles towards the ball, and how that translates to inside linebackers. How I can fit it tighter in the holes when defensive ends are doing a stunt game up front. Having that experience and like seeing in those type of positions in both positions, seeing those help me read offenses quicker and understand the game better and just know what's to come and how defensive ends should play it and how I could finesse it. So doing those type of things, any position whenever at whatever NFL team wants me at, it just helps me utilize it. From the experience I had at Texas Tech, it helps me utilize, be a versatile player and understand the concept of the game of football and to fit in any defense that whatever team wants me at. And it's really been, beneficial. The thought process made the game way easier. What tackles do, because with the stuff I learned for defensive end, I can see it as inside linebacker. I already know what they're gonna do, and I can beat that. The let's say if a guard's pulling, I can beat that guard to that spot and make a TFL. And those sort of things. I've seen having those experiences, seeing those things, has really helped me transition my game to be better, faster, smarter in all areas of what I'm trying to do for my career.
Yeah, I figure a lot of those things that you have to do at one position do carry over and it translates to the other and vice versa, like I said. So yeah, I definitely feel like that's probably helped out your game. And I mean, it like you said, it helps how teams, look at you as well as, hey, this guy could play multiple spots. Suddenly, like he's looking real nice, right?
Yeah.
So I know teams got a chance to look at you up close at the Tropical Bowl. First, tell me how you feel that week went for you.
Oh man! First off, I want to thank the people at the Tropical Bowl. I'm grateful for the opportunity, that I was given there, and it was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. Seeing former guys I played with at 3 different schools. It was, but majority of it was from Tech, and it was a great experience. I'm forever grateful for the Tropical Bowl for giving us athletes the opportunity to showcase our abilities in front of scouts, and it was really awesome. Really talking to NFL scouts, really, getting to know them, having an opportunity for them to know me. And I was really pleased and happy with that experience. I really was grateful for every moment of it. And, certain teams I was talking to, build some good connections with them, great talking to them and letting them know more about me, even though certain things, the adversity and troubles from the past year, having them to really see for who I am for real. And it was a fun experience.
Now, what spots did they have you playing out there? Where were you lining up?
I was playing both defensive end and outside linebacker.
Okay, yeah, I figured
yeah.
I know you said like you don't really have a preference either. Like wherever an NFL team would want you, like you're cool with that. So I take it like you feel pretty comfortable at both, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. And so in that time that you were able to meet with some teams while you were out there, were there any like conversations that have stood out? Like what are they what's their feedback on you so far?
So far it was a good feedback. Some teams, were impressed the way I was handling myself in practice. There was not really much conversations about, which position. It was really just understanding who I am as a man and what how I prep for myself. One team was really just asking about everything about me. Certain scouts, they want to know everything about you and really want to know what you can do. And I just, at the end of the day, I told myself, just be real, true to your heart, be real with yourself. Because at the end of the day, the truth always come out to the light. And I just wanted to, trust my techniques, the stuff that I've been taught, and just, the way I was trained to handle interviews, throughout college, and just really just showcase who I am. And it was really cool experience with them for sure.
Yeah, I imagine that was probably a great week for you. Now, another question. Oh, very busy. Like I know,
extremely busy.
So I was at the Senior Bowl last week, and I could just tell, like, we do the media day like midweek, and I could just tell that they're just so tired. They just want to get in bed or just rest, like
Oh
this.
yeah. No, I wanted to be in a
So
hotel bed the whole night. I just kind of do anything after that.
Yeah, but no, I think I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think it's good for people to, or like fans to know, like, the average day for a player throughout this process, is a lot. And I'll ask you more about that in a bit, like what an average day is looking like for you right now, actually. But this question from Technic Chic, who are your linebacker role models, or is there someone that you're modeling your game after?
Oh man, I look at a lot of linebackers, but I had to narrow it down. I'll narrow it down to 3 linebackers. Obviously, you got Ray Lewis, the OG. I like the Mario Davis, and I like Von Miller. Those guys. The reason why I kind of relate to them is because I look at my body physique, not just my body physique and how they similar to theirs, but like how my game is. From when I'm on the edge, I'm a very speed rusher, just like Von Miller. The ability to do, similar things that he can do, but for like the aggression and an inside linebacker and the size that I have, it relates to more Demario Davis and Ray Lewis. Like a passionate leader for this team, a quarterback for the defense. A guy who's willing to throw his life on the line for the team. That's the type of way I relate myself to those type of linebackers, and that's really what I looked at throughout my whole college career. Those guys, looking at YouTube videos and how they learn, how they watch film. How can I watch film better? How can I approach my workout better? How can I really, be on the practice field? Like, what can I capitalize on? The 1% I can be better at. And that's really what I look forward to, every single day. Every time I'm doing something football related, is 1% better. And looking at those guys, what they do daily could help me out in my game as well.
Now, I'm going to just piggyback on that answer and, shamelessly plug my favorite team, the 49ers, that I cover. So, I mean, we got a pretty good linebacker in Fred Warner.
Oh, well, Fred Warner is the OG for sure. I mean, Fred Warner is a dog. I mean, he's something. He's special. Fred Warner is special for sure.
So hypothetically, right? How would it feel to be drafted by the 49ers and just have that opportunity to learn under someone like Fred Warner?
Oh, I'll be grateful for that. That would be a very awesome experience, to really learn under Fred. The stuff he's done in the game is literally one of the best we've ever seen. And the way his guys respect him, like my main thing for going to team is to earn the respect of the guys in the locker room and the people in the organization to, understand who I am, what I'm willing to do for the team, and just, earn their respect. But learning under Fred Warner, man, that'll be a great opportunity to really understand, like I said before, how I watch film, how I practice, like even though I can know how to do things as a pro, how can I do it to be like an all pro like Fred Warner, and that's the type of things, because Fred Warner's going to be a Hall of Famer. We all know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fred, like, respect to Fred, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but, learning under him, and Greenlaw as well, learning under those guys, just will be a great opportunity. I'll be excited for that. I never been to California before, so I think it'll be, what? I've never been. I promise I've never been. I've always wanted to visit California before, and it seems like a really nice place for sure, especially in the Bay Area. But I'll be excited for that as well.
Well, I take it you'll be doing some more traveling here in the next year, so.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But I know right now, you're focused, you're locked in, busy on training, preparing for pro day and whatnot. So walk us through an average day for you right now. Like, what's the training looking like?
Oh man, whew. So I wake up around like 7 o'clock. I like to have for me, I like to do my stuff early before my workout. I got to eat. I got to get my supplements, my collagen, my breakfast. I make my own breakfast, and I go to my training spot here in Orlando, and, work out at 9 o'clock, do my workouts, whatever specific day, whether it's 40-day lower body strength, upper body, yoga time or anything. And really hit that for about an hour or two. Then, have the recovery session afterwards throughout the day. And sometime I have my brothers here in Lake County, not Lake County, but Orlando with me as well. And sometimes I go out and see my brother and my nephews, to keep my mental space right. Obviously, I got my 3 meals a day, planned it out, my meal prep, and spend time with family, do it, et cetera, here and there, focusing. And sometimes throughout like some certain days, I watch my film, old film of myself, and really, see like what can I work on, and really look myself in the mirror, what I got to do with that. And then at late night, I have a stretch session for myself. I do, work on my flexibility. After dinner, I do like a little stretching, and then I just get ready for bed around 9 or 10 o'clock, and then repeat the next same day.
Do it all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know it's a really busy time, which like I appreciate that, like you're staying close with family out there in Florida, somewhere familiar for you. Just help keep you grounded. Cause
yeah, my brother keeps me in check for sure. My
sure.
mom is in Tampa. They're always on my head all the time. My mom's from Haiti, so she don't play no games. So she's on me all the time. So I just listen, I'm not trying to get no trouble. She said, you better not. So I'm just it's always something, but they really, my family does a lot for me, and they keep me in check. Even my brothers in Dallas, my other brothers in Dallas, he's always calling me all the time, making sure I'm doing what I need to do. So I'm really blessed and thankful for my family as well.
I love that. I'm sure that's really big for you right now, especially.
Yeah.
So I always end my interviews with this question. What is a team or a fan base getting with Jesiah Pierre, both on and off the field?
They're getting a very passionate, hardworking, be the hardest worker in the room, passionate, leader. They're getting a person who's willing to do anything that it takes to win, to bring a championship, but not only for the city and honoring the people before us, but what can we do for the present time we have now? How can we be the best that we can be with the team that we have now? That's something, a mindset I always try to tell myself is, be the best who you can be. Respect to those who came before you, but be the best, make history where you at right now. And the team that I come to is, do anything I can to, to be an asset instead of a liability to the team to help us win championships. As a guy who's just willing to work hard and be dominant every single way I can. And not only for the off the field, but for off the field as well, to serve the community, be a great role model, because that's athletes. I feel like, honestly, athletes are the most influential people in the world. Everybody look at athletes, and so what we use with our platform could affect generations from generations. So really, to use my coach told me to really use my influence in a positive way. And so that's the type of player I want to be for off the field, is using it in a positive way. Well, really both on and off the field, using a positive way, show younger players how to play the game, in a respectful manner, that the way the game's supposed to be played. And, that's really the type of player I am, play the game right, do right on and off the field.
Man, well, that was a hell of an answer. One of the best I think I've gotten through these interviews. But I'm sure a team's gonna love that type of answer. Fans would as well. With Jesiah, I mean, thank you so much for taking the time.
I appreciate you so much.
Joining awesome. Me on here. Like I said, I know you're busy, so again, I appreciate you letting me cut into your relaxing time, right? So, but I really enjoyed this, and I obviously wish you the best of luck in these next few months, and as you train for the pro day as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, appreciate all of you that tuned in as well. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Hit that notification bell so you know when I go live. There will be way more Prospect Spotlight interviews just like this one. But for now, have a good rest of your Wednesday, folks. Peace.